Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of our E3 2015 predictions. Now if you missed part 1, you'll find a link to it in the description below. Otherwise, Derek Bindner, Ash Paulson, Tom Arnold, Josh Thomas, and myself will be picking up where we left off last time. So let's dive right back into it. Alright, new prediction. Who's up next?
I think I am.
Alright, go
Ash.
for it.
Okay, so obviously we know that Zelda Wii U isn't going to be at E3, but I think to make up for that, they're going to announce either Twilight Princess HD or 3D. But I'm leaning toward HD. It does seem like it's about time, but I think, I don't know, it seems, why would they do that whole HD remake engine only for Wind Waker?
Because of Mario Sunshine HD, duh!
Well, yeah, but I mean...
It's possible, I can see it happening. And there was a rumor, or that fake rumor a little while ago, about it coming
the
to
3D one.
3DS, yeah, right. I think Wii U, I would rather see it on Wii U, personally, so...
Yeah, I think the only barrier to it actually happening is that, Wind Waker was kind of... its look was already naturally suited to looking amazing in HD. Twilight Princess has disgustingly ugly textures, and it just isn't that amazing looking a game anyway, so I don't know how much an HD coat of paint's going to help that, and I don't know if they'll do that for that reason, but I do think there's going to be some sort of Zelda game to make up for the fact that there is no Zelda Wii U, and I do think it's going to be a remake.
There is a lot of love for Twilight Princess. It makes the most sense that's the next one that would get the HD remakes treatment, because people love Twilight Princess, and I can totally see that happening. I do not see a 3DS version coming, not even as a new game, because I don't. Link Between Worlds wasn't that long ago. It was 2 years ago. We got Majora's Mask not just earlier. I think it's going to be maybe like another year or so until we get another portable Zelda. So it's definitely going to be a Wii U version.
it could be announced at E3 and come out next year.
That's true. So I don't know.
I do feel like it's too soon for a new portable original Zelda title. I'm with you, Derek. I think it's more likely to be a remake of some sort, and I'm thinking Wii U.
Mm-hmm. Well, another thing too is that Mr. Ionoma, I believe his name is, but he always overlooks the other games that are being made. Like, how much time does he have to separate from his main Zelda project, So maybe he'll be taking a bit of a break at this point, just focusing on one thing.
So I'm not sure whose turn it is, but I'm going to hop in here, because even though they did say Zelda won't be at E3, I'm calling them a liar.
So, lying like David Jaffe and Twisted Metal, basically?
Yeah. So
That's possible.
I think we will get a Zelda Wii U trailer. It won't be playable, but I think we will get a new trailer.
Yeah.
They they haven't even confirmed for sure it's delayed to next year, even though I'm positive it is. But I think I am almost confident we will see something of Zelda for Wii U during the Direct.
Yeah,
I hope you're right. That'd be a great kind of pull one over on everyone.
Even if it's just a new image, a new image. We might even get a title. We're not going to get definitely not going to be playable. Not sure about the trailer. I can definitely sort of see like a small teaser trailer happening, but I'm expecting more like that image that we got for Skyward Sword that showed Fi, and I don't know if it revealed the title of Skyward Sword at that point, but
I don't think it did. No,
something to just tease us, but not only be like a single image.
Yeah, but that was before they had even
trailers.
shown off the game, so that would be like a regression in this case.
Yeah, that's true.
True. We're definitely gonna get something from it. What it exactly is, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say if I believe they're actually going to like show off a new trailer or not. It's hard. I'm kind of torn on whether I believe them about Zelda Wii U not being at E3 or not. I kind of do, but I kind of don't. So I'm not prepared to make a prediction on that either way.
Well, a trailer at least wouldn't take as much time for them to put together as a playable demo. Like, it wouldn't cut off as much time as their schedule, so I guess a trailer is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what speaking of Zelda, and this is real pipe dream stuff here. I wouldn't mind seeing a remake of the original Legend of Zelda in the same vein as Zero Mission for Metroid. I think that'd be really cool.
That'd be actually really cool.
Yeah, something simple on the 3DS. They could just, wouldn't be. I can't imagine it being that difficult. They could pop up on there. I think people would really enjoy revisiting that game with maybe a couple of the more modern sensibilities in line. Like, don't make it don't add towns or anything like that, but a couple of the more modern amenities to make that game a little bit more playable, because there is some arcaneness to Zelda, the original Zelda. You really do need a guide in order to fully see everything in that game, unless you have it all memorized from a kid. But going in as a new player, you're going to have some trouble finding everything.
You're saying after you defeat Ganon, like all your weapons are blown away, and there's another third of the game where you're just sort of escaping Hyrule.
Yeah,
as a sneaky mission.
You get away before Death Mountain explodes, and Link is in a Zero suit.
Yeah.
All right, who's up next?
I think Josh.
Yeah.
All right, I got another crazy run here.
Well, duh, that's redundant. We know.
So, Amiibo is like one of the biggest things Nintendo has had going for them in a long time as far as like sales and success. I think they definitely need some sort of single experience, some sort of single game that really requires Amiibo, that really uses Amiibo like no other game. I think we're going to see that at E3, and I really think it's going to be Nintendo Land 2, and you're going to use your Amiibo to open up attractions. Like, it will come packed with 3 Amiibo or something like that, and they will give you initial attractions, and then the other Amiibo will, like, open up like a Kirby attraction. You scan a Kirby Amiibo. You can get costumes by scanning them. I think there will be, like, a hub world that you can walk around, like an actual theme park, instead of just being some weird floating disc in the sky. I think, Amiibo is huge. Nintendo needs to have that one game that's like, this is the Amiibo game. This has so much fun Nintendo support in it. I can see that happening.
Do you think it would be... I like the idea. Do you think it would be... like a free game though you can download and you just pay for the Amiibo to unlock the content, or would you buy the game and it'll come with
it would almost have to be that.
I think they would probably offer it both ways. You could probably buy it in stores with Amiibo in it to get you kind of started, like a starter pack like Disney Infinity and Skylanders do.
Yeah, Nintendo
and then if you already have them, if you already have the Amiibo, you just download it off the eShop, or you can buy the game separate or something like that.
I could see something like that happening. They do really need that one game that aggressively makes some sort of innovative use of the Amiibo, because so far there hasn't really been anything but kind of basic use, and there does need to be something that kind of bridges the gap between Amiibo and the Disney Infinity figures, such that they're actually being used in some meaningful way.
Right.
Okay, but what if they just bypass all that and go, here's your Pokemon game with Pokemon Amiibo? Just cash in on that.
No, man, that would be... God, let's not even get started with that. I love Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but that's just... that would be so mean of them to do, because that the Pokemon fever combined with Amiibo fever is just going to be Armageddon.
The Pokemon Amiibo, and I could be wrong here, but it seems like they're usually excluded from support. Like, there are no Pokemon costumes in Mario Kart 8, and, it's weird that there's not a lot of support for the Pokemon Amiibo.
Well, from what I understand, that actually has to do with the Pokemon Company and how they're very strict about how their characters are used in crossover titles, which is why you also don't see any Pokemon costumes for Yoshi in Yoshi's Woolly World.
That's very strange.
Yeah, but I think that's why.
Listen, when they're willing to make 5 Pokemon Rumble games, don't talk to me about quality.
Hey, I hear you. Yeah.
Well, I guess speaking of Pokemon, we haven't heard anything about a new game. Are we finally going to catch a break? Or at least, am I going to catch a break and not have to review a Pokemon game this year?
No.
And do all the guides? I mean, we still have Super Mystery Dungeon, of course. There's that. But I don't see a main series title coming out this year. Unless we somehow get a trailer during E3.
So that was actually a prediction I had, because haven't we basically had one every year for the past several years, whether it's a new one or a remake? So why do you think this year would be any different?
He's just hopeful.
He really doesn't want to do that.
I mean, Derek, I hate to say this, but the timing does seem right for Pokemon Z.
Oh, we're crushing him now.
It does seem right.
I guess so, but I'm so used to them announcing, like, didn't Alpha Sapphire and X and Y get announced, like, back in January of their years before they finally came out?
I actually think they did. That's true.
So the timing is so late on Pokemon. That's why I don't really see a new game coming out in the main series. I think they're giving it a little bit of time, maybe working on Z, maybe working on their next thing, because there are small gaps. Like, they will take a year off where there's no Pokemon games coming out, at least no main series titles, and then have the next year be one. And I think we've reached that point where they're just sort of taking a step back and working on whatever they have next, because I think by now we would have heard something about the next Pokemon, because they usually come out in November, and a June November to build up their hype seems very late in the game for them.
Oh, they're just pouring too many resources into that Talking Pikachu detective game, I guess.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Where'd that go?
Yeah, we haven't heard about it in a long time.
Okay, prediction, it's dead.
I would like to see a Wii U port of Pokken Tournament.
That's why that's what it kind of begs the question. Do you think that might happen? I mean, it seems like it. I mean, it's going to happen eventually, no matter what. But I'm talking about at this digital event. Do you think we could see a Pokken Fighters Wii U trailer?
No.
You know?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
It hasn't come out in Japan yet, so I think that's part of the reason we haven't really heard anything.
Yeah, it's been one of those games that comes out, well after the arcade version. I can see maybe next year. I wouldn't expect it much before then.
Well, just for you, Derek, they're going to open the digital event with a Pokemon Z trailer. Just for you.
So, who wants to go next?
I have a few left.
All right.
One of the more persistent rumors of late has been a Paper Mario title for Wii U, and I definitely think that's going to happen. I think we're going to see it announced with a trailer during the digital event, and I think it is impending. I think there's definitely Paper Mario Wii U coming.
Yeah, we talked about that recently, and I hope you're right, because I would love to see that. I think there's a good chance it'll happen.
Now, is it an RPG, or is it a platformer in the style of Chibi Robo?
God willing, if Miyamoto has nothing to do with it, it'll be an
Super
RPG.
Paper Mario 2.
I hope not.
Oh, is that your prediction, that Miyamoto won't have anything to do with Paper Mario?
No, I'm not going to say that, but I do think that after the reception Sticker Star got, I do think that this new Paper Mario title is going to go back toward the kind of more traditional RPG roots.
Sticker Star did sell pretty well, though, despite...
Listen, I champion Sticker Star. I think that was way better than people make it out to be.
Oh my god.
I actually agree with you there, but I still want something.
I do think Thousand Year Door and the original Paper Mario are better than Sticker Star for sure, but I think Sticker Star is better than Super Paper Mario.
I will fight you on that one.
Let's go.
I love Super Paper Mario. I don't care what people say. I really did enjoy that game.
Oh man,
I'm gonna fix this. You all be crazy.
Well, I did like. Well, okay, I like the gameplay of Sticker Star more, but I like the story and overall vibe of Super Paper Mario more.
I think I hated the art style in that game most. I think the art style might be what killed Super Paper Mario.
The character design was not good in that game.
Yeah,
that I will agree with you on. Some of the characters stood out, but most of the NPCs were terrible.
Dimension was pretty cool looking though.
Yeah,
and he had a badass song too for the final boss.
Yeah. But no, I still love the gameplay of Super Paper Mario and everything. Basically everything else about it. The character designs were a little off, but everything else about that game I love.
I felt like that turning to 3D was not a puzzle. It was just an obvious thing after the first couple tries. I was like, I don't know how to get past this. Well, A button. Oh, okay. That's how you get past it.
Well, for what it's worth, I do think it's going to be a more traditional RPG in the vein of the Thousand Year Door or the original game. And that's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I'm predicting.
That'd be amazing.
That's what they showed off initially when they first showed the 3DS one, but nope.
People blame Mr. Miyamoto for that too. We don't know that Mr. Miyamoto was the result of Sticker Star being exactly what it is. I think he just said, "Well, this is the same thing. Do something clever." So they could have used stickers in a traditional Paper Mario game.
Well, he was the one saying he was mandating things like don't only have the game take place in the Mushroom Kingdom, don't introduce new characters, only use established Mario characters, things like that. Which really, in my opinion, limited their creativity. And I'm just like, man, go away from the traditional RPG elements. And it's like, okay, I guess you can obviously experiment if you want, but that's exactly what people loved about the Thousand Year Door. It was an original story with original characters that people liked. It was a traditional RPG, but had really interesting kind of twists in the formula, and people love that about it. That's why it's so well loved now, and it just seems like they've kind of forgotten that.
I don't even like RPGs, but I adore the gameplay in Paper Mario. Usually I cannot stand fighting in an RPG, but in Paper Mario, I love it. It's so much fun because it's really interactive.
Yeah,
it's totally simple to understand, and so I would definitely be down for a traditional style Paper Mario on Wii U.
Totally.
All right.
I hope.
Who's up next?
Well, I got some stuff that you guys don't care about at all, but I still think I'm going to predict them. We're finally going to get a U.S. release date on Xenoblade Chronicles X, I think. I think
I care about that.
It's finally out in Japan. The game is excellent. I just couldn't read the damn thing at all. I think it's probably going to be a winter title. That is my prediction, because they've been holding pretty steadfast on the 2015 release date, and I think we're finally going to get it maybe November. I'm hoping October, so there's a little less competition there, but we'll see. And I also think we might get a little bit more information on the Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem game. Maybe not too much, maybe another trailer, but at least something from that.
Right. That was actually one of my predictions, was that we're going to get an English release date for Xenoblade Chronicles X, so I'm right there with you. I actually think it's going to be a little earlier, though. I'm going to say it's going to be more like an August to October release. Like late summer, early fall. Yeah.
It gives a chance for Star Fox to come out after, basically, and like fill in the gaps.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, when did Hyrule Warriors? That was like an August release.
Yeah.
September
Yeah.
for Hyrule Warriors.
Okay, it's maybe late August, early September. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's definitely happening.
I hope so.
I have a prediction / question for you guys.
Curious.
Okay.
So, my prediction is this is kind of a boring one, but at E3, I think Nintendo of America will announce a release date for Rhythm Heaven on the 3DS.
Yes.
I hope so.
And the question is, do you guys think that's actually even coming over?
I think it'll come over. I don't know if they'll announce it at E3. I can see them doing that as like a later direct, like later in the year. But those games have historically lagged behind the Japanese release dates. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure it'll come at some point. I just don't know if it'll be at E3.
That is launching in Japan in just 4 days.
Yep.
I am unbelievably excited about that.
Yeah,
You're talking about something that really is near and dear to my heart. So I don't know. I'm really I don't know. That's actually not on my prediction list. I thought about it, but I sadly don't think it might come over eventually, but I don't think it's going to be announced at E3.
Yeah.
I'm just a little worried because I know Rhythm Heaven Fever, as brilliant as it was, it didn't sell well at all.
It didn't? Yeah, I was going to ask you guys if there were any like sales numbers for that.
Yeah, I think it did terribly because people have horrible taste and should be ashamed of themselves. But
it was really cheap too. That's the depressing.
Yeah.
Like, when it launched, I think it was like what, $30.
It was like $30,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
But I think it's still possible that you could get like maybe a digital only release here.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe the likely scenario. I don't know if they'll do a package release for Rhythm Heaven 3DS, but I do think it might eventually come as a digital only release, but not at E3.
Well, how about this? In 20 years, it'll have a mini direct, and it'll be announced as part of an anniversary collection for Rhythm Heaven.
There you go. Yeah.
And we're all going to be predicting it. I'm going to be the only one predicting it, and you guys are going to be saying I'm wrong.
Well, that is, in my opinion, Nintendo's secret best series, or one of their best series, so I really do hope that it gets some love at E3. But I think that's more likely to be announced in a direct later this year. Some sort of like, digital only release.
Right.
Yeah.
So Nintendo they've talked a lot about what won't be at E3, and that includes Project NX and mobile games, and I believe them there. They've also said there's going to be no new Mario game, presumably ignoring Mario Maker.
Wait, when did they say that?
They said earlier this year there will be no new Mario game this year.
Yeah, I remember that.
So do you think they're going to hold true to that, or do you think we could see a new Mario? I personally, even though I think they're full of liars, I'm inclined to believe them on this one. I don't think we'll see a new Mario this year.
I don't think so either.
I don't believe them. I think do they mean like there won't be a new 3D or 2D Mario, or do they mean like no new Mario game at all at E3?
No. Okay, so I guess we should clarify that. I'm pretty sure they mean within like the main Mario line, whether it's a 2D side scroller or a 3D adventure game, because Mario Maker already ruins that.
Yeah.
So we could see spin-offs like a Mario Sports game from Next Level Games.
Yeah,
for instance.
I think Mario Baseball is actually going to be shown at E3.
Ooh, baseball, huh?
Because listen, that's the only Mario Sports game like in the series that has not been online. Like every other one has had online treatment.
Oh,
it would work really well. Think of amiibo cards as Mario Baseball cards. That would be amazing.
Wow.
That pretty much sells itself.
That's true.
I think
it does.
the most deserving Mario Sports title to get on Wii U, I think, is Mario Baseball.
I love the GameCube one, so I'd be down with it.
I really don't know. We've talked about this before, but I don't know why you didn't like the Wii one, but you love the GameCube one. Like, I don't get that.
GameCube one was amazing.
You're so. We're playing. We're playing this in a hotel room during E3. You are not going to the show until you agree with me.
It's like, hey guys, live with Mario Baseball coverage, June 16th, 17th, 18th. I don't think there's anything else happening. We're just doing this, we're streaming it.
This is what GameXplain's doing for E3 until he admits that the Wii version of Mario Baseball is better.
Oh, man.
I don't care about that series at all.
I don't either.
I don't care about baseball.
That game's still amazing.
Back to Mario, though. What would the Nintendo of Tokyo be doing then if they're not doing another Mario game? Like
Mario NX, that's what they're working on.
All right.
There you
The
go.
next groundbreaking 3D Mario game.
Maybe.
So I have one more Nintendo prediction. I think we will have some big announcement for Mario Maker. I don't think we've already seen how much they've expanded upon that game since we saw it at E3 last year. I think there's still more to it. We know Yoshi is coming, it seems like. I think they'll show him off. But I think even beyond that, I feel like there's something more to that game we don't know yet. Whether they're showing off more, even more content, more enemies. I feel like there's a little bit more to it, though, that's some big surprise that we don't know about yet.
The built-in Mario Paint HD. I'm down with that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Confirmed here, Mario Paint HD, part of Mario Maker.
That would be an interesting addition because that means you could basically insert your own assets.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't see that. I especially don't see that happening.
No, especially not with the online connectivity.
All right. Any other predictions?
I have one more Nintendo prediction.
All right.
I think we're going to get a GameCube Virtual Console announced, or maybe not a Virtual Console, but kind of like where they release Wii titles digitally. I think they're going to start releasing GameCube titles digitally, and I think F-Zero GX is going to be one of the first ones to kind of help placate, the want for a new F-Zero game by not actually making a new F-Zero game. I think that's going to happen, and I think F-Zero is going to be on the eShop. F-Zero GX is going to be on the eShop, along with some GameCube titles, other GameCube titles.
Yeah. That would make sense. Be a good excuse to get 1000-Year Door up on the eShop as well.
And that too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo's really silly for not having GameCube titles available for download yet, because if you go to eBay, because I've purchased tons of GameCube games, they're like $50 on up. They have held their value like crazy. They could be making a small fortune.
You never know, Reggie might have a big GameCube collection he's trying to pawn off first, so...
That could be it.
Yeah, it really makes no sense considering the Wii U, especially, how you can natively play them, basically. I mean,
Can it?
Well, it can natively play Wii games, and that could play GameCube games.
Well, it does make sense if you look at financially, if they think, okay, we're gonna do HD remakes of a few GameCube games first.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Well, then just don't release those games then. Don't release Mario Sunshine, or if they're doing an HD remake, but release games that they aren't remaking in HD, like F-Zero.
Right. Yeah. But also there could be, I don't know, maybe there's some technical hurdle that we don't know about.
Well, for one thing, they didn't have a GameCube controller, and Nintendo might have been like, well, we need the GameCube controller to play these games. But now we can use GameCube controllers on the Wii U, so it's like, I don't really understand. It's got to be, maybe it's a technical thing, like, they just can't get them emulating on the Wii U properly.
I mean, I can't see how that would be, because it plays Wii games just fine. And the GameCube is the same thing, basically. It's like super similar hardware.
Well, it's four GameCubes duct taped together now.
The GameCube controller, though, is interesting, because if we get back to the Mario Sunshine remake potential, that game is one of the few that did make use of those digital triggers. They actually would have to rework the control scheme a fair amount to make it work with a normal controller, assuming they wanted to reach people who don't have the GameCube adapter.
Oh, that's actually really a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Well, but the thing is, like, can you think of any moment in Mario Sunshine where there was that it was needed? Like, what if we just pressed the trigger and you fired the water like normal, like full blast? Like, that wouldn't change anything, I don't feel.
Yeah, you could definitely fix it. And in fact, I mean, for me, like, I would actually hope they would completely revisit that game's control scheme for a remake. So yeah, it's something they could definitely fix. But it might take more work than maybe they'd be willing to invest. I don't know. So maybe that does work against the remake theory.
It's Mario Sunshine. There's no such thing as too much work when it comes to bringing that game to a new generation.
I think that's all my Nintendo predictions.
Yeah, I'm basically out too. But I feel like you have to have another one, Josh, don't you?
You guys just make fun of my ridiculousness that I don't want to say anything anymore.
Maybe for a game we just talked about a few days ago. Maybe a game in which you cross things with animals.
Oh my god, how did I not... Right? So I really do believe that we are going to get a trailer for Animal Crossing on the Wii U. There's no way this isn't happening. Like, first of all, New Leaf was like a massive success, and every Animal Crossing game that comes out has been more popular than the last one. Trust me when I say that gamepad could do tons of amazing things for the Animal Crossing series. It's been a while since New Leaf. I mean, that game was out of development in 2012 in Japan, and I don't think it'll launch this year, though. I think we'll get a trailer. They'll have like a little developer interview about what the direction they're going in is, and I think we'll get it in 2016. I think Japan will get it a little bit earlier, but I think we will absolutely see Animal Crossing at E3, and we'll also obviously be seeing Happy Home Decorator, so we'll get like 2 Animal Crossing games in one E3. This is going to be a great E3! Animal Crossing all around.
Does Happy Home Designer really count?
No, but it's $40, so there must be something going on with that game that we haven't seen yet.
There has to. That's weird, but I am in full agreement. Actually, I'm surprised I totally forgot about this. But yeah, I think Animal Crossing Wii U definitely is going to be shown during the digital event.
Yeah, I think there's a really good chance of that. It makes sense. We talked about this in our previous discussion. It's due. It's been out on every system since it started on the GameCube or 64, even if you go back that far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a sure thing.
I have the N64 game.
Yeah, that's right. You do. That's
also, yeah.
It has to be. CD Folk was a letdown.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of ideas for the game. I really do hope they take this time because the Wii U is basically online all the time. I really hope they embrace that concept.
Yeah.
Make it more of a living world than it has seemed like before, I hope for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Wii U is really kind of... The 3DS is, but I think the Wii U is kind of the first very competent online machine from Nintendo.
Yeah.
And Animal Crossing is literally, by definition, a communication game. Like, that's why it was created, to communicate with your friends and family via a game. And you can do that better than any other system with the Wii U now. Well, like Nintendo system, I mean.
Yeah, well, the problem with the 3DS is you're often playing it when you're not near a Wi-Fi point. You're not home, you're not near Wi-Fi. Yeah. Right, whereas with the Wii U, you're always going to be on Wi-Fi.
At home. Yeah, that's whenever everybody's like, there's a lot of people that are like, no, I don't want Animal Crossing on a home console. I want it on handheld because I like to take it with me. But I feel like because Animal Crossing really is about sharing your experience with other people and playing with other people, you really can't do that when you're on a bus or out and about in a restaurant. You could find like a Wi-Fi hotspot, but even then it's kind of spotty. I think you really do want to play it where you're really locked down to a really good wireless connection to get online.
Yeah, I feel the complete opposite that a lot of people do. Like, I guess a lot of people look at Animal Crossing as a time waster. They can play wherever they want.
Yeah, I don't look at it like that.
For me, I feel like I find it to be a relaxing experience. I want to sit home on my couch or my chair or whatever, laying back, playing this game, just taking all in at a very leisurely pace.
And you get so much more atmosphere of your town when it's on a big TV. You know, you really see everything, and it's just this great, wonderful, comfy feeling.
We're on the same page for once, Josh.
Man, if I didn't know you guys were talking about Animal Crossing, I would think this is a really uncomfortably sexual conversation.
No, it is. No, you were right. You judged it accurate.
Well, just because Andre is talking about taking it in at a gradual pace, and I'm like, man,
it's not me for once.
This just reached some next level stuff here.
I do actually have a serious question for you guys. Should the mayor mechanic come back?
Yes,
from the Wii? Because that seemed to
absolutely.
be a great change for the series that a lot of people loved, and I can't really see them dropping it anytime soon.
Lots of untapped potential as well as being the mayor of your town. So there's a lot more they can do with that.
Oh yeah, they could definitely go a lot further with that idea. So I hope it comes back, and I'm sure they'll have some cool ideas for it. All right, well, I'm officially out predictions. So
I am too, but I do have a question for you guys.
All right.
Recently, it was reported that, and this is could be nothing, but that there is a retailer listing for Kid Icarus Uprising HD for Wii U. And I'm not prepared to make that as an actual prediction, but what do you guys think the chance of that being legitimate is?
At least, well, it'd be playable finally.
How dare you? How dare you? Wow. Kid Icarus Uprising is one of my favorite games of the generation, maybe ever.
What kind of hands do you have? Do you have non-human hands? What is going on?
I have giant man hands. I don't know. I have no problem playing it.
Wow.
I really didn't have any problem playing it, and I adore that game, and I would be happy to pay $60 in a second for an HD version.
So would I, because I thought a lot of that game was cool, especially like the flying stuff.
Yeah, that was
the
the
music
best.
company with that. It was really good, but show me that in HD with a controller that I don't have to kill myself trying to use.
Well, don't get me wrong. I do think having twin stick controls on the Wii U.
No, what are you talking about?
Motion
They should be
control.
using the Splatoon controls. Motion
Yeah,
controls.
yeah, exactly.
That's true. Yeah, I can see that too. That'd be a nice option as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it happens. I'm just not sure if it actually will. But man, that would be like one of the announcements of the show for me if they did do that.
It'd be amazing. I don't see it happening because they'd have to redo a lot of those assets to make that game look even decent on the Wii U.
Yeah,
So I don't see it happening for that reason. I think it actually would be cool. I think it would benefit a lot from a much better control scheme, especially if they went back and cleaned up a few parts of that game. But I just don't see it happening.
Andre, crusher of dreams.
Yeah. Maybe next generation.
Yeah,
maybe.
Alright guys, so that covers for all of our Nintendo predictions, but we had even more for some third parties as well as the other console manufacturers being Sony and Microsoft. So stay tuned for part 3 of our E3 predictions video where we'll go over all of those. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and keep an eye on GameXplain.com for more on E3 and other things gaming too.